I'm reading this guide to selling your home. You can
With
see
Team
it here.
Everitt.
With Team Everitt that a lovely Olivia put together. So today we're going to be talking about appraisals and what they mean for your property and how they might relate to what's happening in the marketplace. It shouldn't be taken as a valuation. A valuation is a different thing. It could be used for bank mortgage requirements, or it could be used for insurance, that sort of thing. What we do is we have a look at what a property could sell for in today's market. So the way that we do that is we have a look at all the attributes of the property. For example, obviously the floor area, obviously the land area, the tenure, what title it has. Also things like how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, the construction, all these different variables which go into describing a home. Then what we do is we use a couple of tools that we have that compare that, what we call the subject property, which is the property that we're appraising, with other properties that sold in recent months.
With similar attributes. Where at all possible.
Yeah. So we would look at similar attributes, so obviously the bedrooms, as I've mentioned, the bedrooms.
Bedrooms and bathrooms are quite important.
Also the condition of the property and when it was built. For example, we wouldn't put a 1920s bungalow up against a 1990s plaster home, even though they might have the same floor area, they might have the same land area.
Might have the same title.
Same title, the two aren't comparable. Now typically we would find initially around 5, even maybe up to 10 properties that may match it. And then what we try and do is we try and narrow it down. So we narrow it down to either 3 or 4. These properties now are analysed in the same way that we'd analyse the subject property. So like I said, we would look at all the attributes of those property and also the market that it's sold in.
Yes.
And the market can change quickly. So what may have sold, say, in August, September, for a price, would be more now. COVID lockdown, for example, our level 3 in Auckland saw a lot of properties sell for below what they could have sold now.
Of course, one can never know what other events are going to impact a sale price, and let's not forget that between 2017 and 2019 we had very static price sale growth, very little growth, and some sparse listing. It was a sparse listing environment. Now we find ourselves in completely the opposite. It's a rapid growth market, and we're scrambling a little bit to keep up with those appraisals as these prices are being achieved.
I think one point to make you aware of is that appraisals are free. It's a service that we do. There's no obligation to sell. What we do is we do this work for you, and if you decide to sell, or if you want to sell in the future, we use those figures. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we might do an appraisal now, and then in 6 months' time we might update that appraisal with recent properties. So there's a lot to it. Once we've got those properties down, then we take the next step, which will be described in the next video. The other thing to note is that the CV, the council valuation, is not a proper valuation of your property. It can vary across suburbs, but we do take the CV into account when we're doing the appraisal, simply because if all the properties are around a certain area, the accuracy of those CVs will be similar. Either it might be too high, too low, it might be spot on. So that's how we use CVs.
Look, lots of variables. Just because your neighbour sold across the road last weekend for a price doesn't necessarily mean that that price expectation could be achieved by your property. It could be more. And this is where we love the auction process, isn't it, Pete?
Yeah.
Now, I could talk about this all day long, and When I started real estate, I wasn't sure about auctions, but now time and time again, the transparency of that format is gold.
And the way she brings down the gavel. And you also receive
and-
our newsletters each week, no doubt. And if you don't, please let us know and we'll put you on the list for those newsletters. They're quite informative, many of them.
Yes. Well, we do go above and beyond. In fact, I'm above and beyond this week.
Are you on and beyond?
I'm on and beyond this week.
Oh, yeah.
So
But
really.
the thing is that a lot of people out there won't be, so they need to get in contact with us.
Oh, they won't be above and beyond this
They
week.
need to get in contact with us.
They do.
Right, you get it?
Yeah.
And all they need to do is phone
Jude on.
Oh.
021 021 277 844 or Pete on
027 663 0765 or 0800 583 326 or
Could we have the rest of them on the screen this time?
yeah, well they're on the screen right now.
Okay, count
So
people read them.
teameverett@raywatt.com.